And now we're going to look at a couple ways to play a clip backwards. I have this footage here that I used when I created that music video I mentioned before. It's kind of like this cool rack focus, which is between the spider and the bushes and back. I'm a terrible cameraman, admittedly, and so we don't really have too good a focus in either spot, but you kind of get the idea. Now, I'd like to change this a little bit because right now we have a spider that's kind of in focus with a very blurry background. And then if I move in time a little bit, then slowly the focus changes from the spider to the background. And actually, it doesn't get quite in focus, but the spider gets way more out of focus than the bushes. So what we want to do is flip this because the spider is the real mystery. By starting with the spider and then going to the leaves, that's not really that interesting. So I'd like to flip this clip in time. So I'm going to right click on it in the timeline panel, and I'm going to go to speed duration. And I'm not going to change the speed value this time. Instead, I'm just going to select reverse speed. Click OK. And again, the duration does not change. But when I play this clip back, it will start with the bushes in the back, and that's what I'll be looking at. And all of a sudden, whoa, hello, Mr. Spider. So that's pretty awesome there. Now, there's another more complicated way to do this, referred to as time remapping. Now, time remapping also allows us to animate timing changes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click opacity, which makes this rubber band control opacity, as we've discussed previously. I'm going to click this, go to time remapping speed. And now this rubber band controls speed. So by default, it's at 100%. This train plays back normally. If I were to click and drag this downwards, then we would slow this thing down. You could also click and drag upwards to speed it up, etc. I'm just going to hit Command Z or Control Z to undo that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click and drag upwards on this to take this speed up to, I don't know, let's say 200%, somewhere around there. And then I'm going to go out in time here. And when the train gets about here, maybe back up a little bit, right about there, about the 12 frame mark, I'm going to hold the Command key down. And I'm going to get that icon that's, instead of a white arrow with an up and down arrow next to it, I'm going to get a plus icon. And if I click that, it's going to be creating a keyframe, basically, which is going to remember that value at that time. And then I'm going to move out in time, and we'll just go ahead and Command or Control click one more point there. Now, what that allows us to do is to change the time between these keyframes. So at first, we're going 200%, but then when I get here, I want this value to be lower. So I'm going to leave this where it is, and I'm going to click on this line, and I'm going to drag this downwards to, I don't know, maybe 50% or so. So what that's going to do, going to play very quickly until it gets to this point, and then it's going to slow down. So again, let's preview that. So we have a very fast train, twice as fast, and then twice as slow. So we can play with time like that and change it over time. So it doesn't have to go at one constant rate of speed. We could slow it down and then speed it up, then make it normal, or what have you. What I'm going to do is go out to about this point, let's say 2 seconds and 13 frames in. I'm going to Command or Control click to create another point. But this time I am going to go over the keyframes, and I'm going to Command click and drag or Control click on drag on PC to the right. And what that's going to do is it's going to create a space that looks like this with left facing arrows, or little chevrons, I guess. And that's going to make it so that this area of the clip plays backwards. So not only can we animate timing to go faster or slower, but we can also animate this to go backwards. So now the clip is going to go fast here, slow through this passage, then it's going to go backwards here. And let's go ahead and preview that. So it kind of looks like a 1920s movie, a little Charlie Chaplin train or something like that. Kind of an amusing look. But anyways, the point is that timer mapping allows you to literally remap time to control how you want things to go fast or slow at different points, and even to go backwards at other times.